Hello and welcome back to chapter 6, lecture number 10. So we continue working on a small plant called celandine, and we need to import a background image. So I like to just hide all the small flowers and plants, and we go for a new one and call this celandine. And I do not really know how to pronounce this, but I do know it's spelled like this. So I like to hide all the other ones. And we're going to import a background image. So that's the one we need. And let's put it right there. And we start with adding a plane. Whoosh. And scale this a little bit. And moving it right there. And we make it smaller. Even smaller. And let's find out how to start with this shape. So I think I'm going to add 2 extra edge lines and putting these right there and right there, so we have space for the stem. And I like to extrude this a little bit. And one more time. Let's go to the wireframe so we can see actually what we're doing. That one as well. And it doesn't really matter, you do not cover these edges. Just the rough shape will be enough. And same for these. There you go. And one more time. I like to add edge line in the middle, and let's extrude this area a little bit. Right there, just like these. So you need to cover the stem as well. Very important because we need it for this type of flower. Let's call it a flower if it has a flower on top, and a plant if it's just leaves. That's easy, right? So there we go. And there's not really a root in this small flower, so I'm trying to make it as good as possible. I think it's just aiming that way. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can do it yourself, better of course. Alright, I think we did a great job. So let's take a look on how to finish this right. Let's put it right there and there. And I want 2 edge lines over there and 2 right there. Great, and I think we can add 1 there, so we cover this area a little bit. Cool. So let's do 1 more together, and then you can continue this yourself. And if I compare this with a nettle, I think this one is more easy. It's just different. It's a different approach, but not necessarily more complex. It's just about trying to cover the whole area, and you have this freedom of sometimes just ignoring the borders. There you go. And we continue. And we have to do the stem as well. And I think we're doing pretty well with just copying the new flower leaf. And that area, look how smooth that went. No hardness. Alright. I think we're almost there. What do you think? Whew, that's so boring. But imagine when we have all these beautiful flowers and plants, and we can put that in this nice looking environment scene, that will totally rock it. So that's enough for me to continue. So I can imagine how beautiful the scene is going to be. And we created it ourselves. So it's not just a sort of a plugin where you have everything standard. No, this is all yours. Great. So that's pretty much it. So you copy. It doesn't matter if you copy this one or that one, just the one you prefer that match the next one, and you're trying to put it in line. And what is key is that you try to follow the root of the leaf just as good as possible and make it a smooth line. Very key. All right, so I'll pause it. We can continue, and you can ignore this one. That one is a little bit bugged, but the other ones are good to go. All right, so good luck. Let's do one more together, just because it's always good to see how someone else is doing it. By the way, this is my creation for that one. It was pretty hard to match this area, and we had that one as well. This one was very smooth, but this one was pretty challenging, so I thought, just let's do one more one together. If that helps, why not, right? And we have time left, so that's a great thing. So I don't know if I already mentioned the purpose of trying to make as much as you can yourself and try to avoid plugins. Myself, I use the Grove 3D. That's a tree add-in, and I love it. But I created Twigs myself, so they have a beautiful library. But I don't know. It's you learn a lot when you start studying leaves, studying the materials, the reflections value, and trying to recreate it. And of course, the first time you spend time on it and you make your models, it won't match, or maybe you get close, but it won't match the sample results. But the more you do it, I think you can improve it and even make better trees, because you understand the way trees looks like, so you can recreate it. So plugins, of course, these are great, and for grass you have so many. But if you learn this, and if you know how to handle this, I mean, you are leading it. You can create it and pick the colors and the way it's spread over the terrain. It's a very powerful tool. So much more powerful than a click and you have it method. And of course, I think you should use it as a tool to have better understanding, but never lose your artistic impression on it. Yeah, if that makes any sense to you, because people always, I heard a lot like, yeah, why are you just doing this? Because the AI is just going to replace you. I'm not afraid for that. You can see AI is not, maybe for some nature things, but for architecture and medieval architecture, there's so much freedom for the artist. I mean, if there is an algorithm doing that all themselves, I'm happy. But I guess it will take a long time. So if I shouldn't have to model everything, then it's just brilliant. But I don't think it's going that fast. Maybe, or maybe not. Let's turn on proportional editing. And this stem is pretty small. I'm going to extend this a little, or just leave it. I'll just leave this, and we remove the rear ones. Okay, we need to do something with this area. I'm not quite sure what happened, but that one over there. This is quite challenging. Okay, but this is not good geometry. This is just painful geometry. All right, I prefer to do it this way. But just watch your work and think, hey, I can do this better. All right, so enough talking. I hope I won't bore you. You can just mute me, of course. Trying to help you, keep in mind. I'm not trying to irritating you. Great, so I'll pause again, and good luck with the next two. All right, we finished all the leaves, and that makes it the end of this lecture. So in the next one, we will make some adjustments on the leaves to make them look curvy, and then we continue to bind them together and focusing on the flower. I will show you the reference, how how the celandine wheel looks like. So it helps us with recreating it. Alright, I hope you still enjoy, and see you in the next lecture. Bye bye.